Hey everybody, this is DBK Outdoors, and today I just wanted to do an initial thoughts video on the Ontario Rat 1. And this is a really cool knife I've found, and I actually got it off Amazon.com, and I actually accidentally ordered the knife too. I didn't even realize I ordered it until it showed up on my doorstep. I was looking at some other knives. I was actually looking at the SOG Flash 2 to get, but I accidentally clicked the buy with one click button, and this showed up on my doorstep 3 days later. So my initial thoughts on this knife, I really like it so far. I got it yesterday, and so I haven't got to really use it a whole lot yet. It comes with a great factory edge. I'll show you that here. See, it just slices right through the paper, and it leaves clean edges. It's not ripping the paper at all. I couldn't really get any feathers on the top edge here. I couldn't really get it to curl the paper very well, but I'm probably going to sharpen it later on after I use it some, and I'll get a really good edge on it, and then I'll be able to get the curls and stuff out of this knife, because I know with AUS-8 steel this knife is capable of doing that. It just doesn't come from the factory like that. Now, here on the blade, if you can see, it has the Ontario logo, and then it says, in the little triangle here, it says Randall's Adventure Training, and that's what the RAT stands for. That's what RAT stands for. And it shows down here at the bottom, that is the Model 1 up on the top, and that says AUS-8 down there, which is the steel. Now, some of you guys won't like this, but it does say made in Taiwan. Some people are just dead set on American-made knives. Now, I do like it when a knife, or really anything, is made right here in the States, but it's not a requirement for me to have an American-made product. And this is really good quality from what I can tell, too, for being a overseas produced knife. Some of them are really crappy, and some of them do it well. Kind of like Spyderco, they have some really good overseas produced knives. But the handle, that's one thing I'm not a big fan of, is the texturing on the handle. It's so small and so fine, it doesn't really add any grippiness to the handle itself. It's basically just for aesthetics only. The clip, it has 4 different positions you can put the clip in. You can put it up here at the top, down here at the bottom, and the same on the other side, up at the top or down at the bottom. So for either left-handed or right-handed tip up or tip down carry. Now, I like to carry it just like this in my pocket, but that's just me. I'm right-handed. So one thing I really like about this knife so far is it deploys so easy and so quick. It's really smooth too. Like, you don't even have to flick your wrist. Watch, let me see if I can do this here. You don't even have to flick your wrist to deploy this knife, and it's just so smooth. There's no creakiness at all to this knife, and it deploys really, really quick. It's not spring assisted, but with a knife like this, you don't really need spring assist because it just deploys so quickly. Especially if you do add just a little bit of a wrist flick, it deploys so quick. And that's one thing I'm really liking about this knife so far. It has a 3.5-inch blade. I'm pretty sure this knife comes in a black finish on the blade too. Obviously this one is silver. The thumb stud on here, it's not a really tiny thumb stud. You can see that there. It's not really tiny, but it's not really obtrusive either. And it just is the perfect size to get a good grip on out of the pocket once you deploy the knife. And it has kind of almost looks like layers that are cut into the thumb stud there, as you can see. Another thing I like about this knife is it has some really good jimping on the top here. You can really lock in right there on the jimping with your thumb, and then on the little finger coil down here at the bottom. And this knife, the clip, I do like the clip. I do wish it was more like a SOG clip though, that kind of comes up and then folds back down over top of itself. That way you can kind of be more discreet when you're carrying a knife whenever you need to, and it just rides really low in the pocket, and there's not this tip sticking out here. But it's okay. I mean, for a $26 knife, you're not going to get every little thing you want, but this is a really good knife from what I can tell so far. We're going to do some more testing with this knife and just carry it around for a few weeks and use it as much as I can, and then I will get back with you guys and put out a full-on review of this knife. So be waiting for that. And it is a liner lock knife. It's not a lock here on the back, but it does have steel liners in it, obviously, and they aren't skeletonized, so this knife does have some heft to it. It is a little weighty, but that doesn't bother me that much. I don't necessarily have to have a featherweight knife to carry. I kind of like having something that has a little weight to it, but that's just me. Some of you won't like that. It does have a lanyard hole back here, as you can see, but so far I'm really liking this knife. Thanks for watching, guys. Be waiting for the review.